If the goal in looking for a fifth wheel RV is having a ton of open living space for the kids to roam around and to move around, and then having a bunk room with multiple different beds, including even like a sofa and spot for kids to hang out by themselves, and also having room to load in cargo, plus having an outdoor kitchen, it's a pretty dang good option right here. Let's go take a look, come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we're here taking a look at this 2026 Jayco Eagle. This is a 31 QCD, and this is going to be a bunkhouse fifth wheel RV that is obviously suited for a family, and even like a larger family at that. So you'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen. Now I do want to say, because this is one of the select events that I go to throughout the year where I'm actually being paid by Jayco to be here. So just in full transparency, they are paying me to be here. That being said, that doesn't change anything about how I approach these reviews for you or anything like that. Jayco doesn't, put a throttle on or, hold back the throttle on anything that I say, and nothing about my reviews will change. And if that ever did become an issue where like I, wasn't allowed to say something, I would just choose to not take the money because I am loyal to you guys over anything else. I just am trying to make sure that my bills get paid, and I got a baby on the way, stuff like that. I got responsibilities to take care of, and I owe it to my family to try to make money. But I just want to let you know, because it is the ethical thing to do, to let you know I am being paid to be here. But that's not going to change anything about how I do my reviews. So as we come up to this, I want to start with looking at the specs real quick. So on this, we are at just 36.5 feet long here. So 36 feet, 5.75 inches. So definitely not a, too large of a fifth wheel RV, pretty dang good size. And unloaded with all of your propane tanks full is 10,102 pounds. I'm going to have a cargo carrying capacity of 1,598 pounds there. So this makes it a little bit more of a modest fifth wheel RV, something that's suitable for like a 3/4 ton truck, especially like a diesel. So it's going to be a good, kind of balance point where it's not, over the top, but going to offer a lot of space, and it's going to be a little bit more on the affordable side because of that as well. We'll get to the price a little bit later in the video. As we step inside here, really nice, open, spacious layout. Of course, want to hear your thoughts and feedback, what you think. We see some new colors in here from the 2025 to 2026. The biggest thing that I noticed right away is like we have the it's almost like a sand color cabinetry with the gold handles on it. I personally think it looks really nice, but of course we're curious your thoughts and what you think. And then one of my favorite things in the Jayco lineup is pretty much everything that they're doing is coming with cloth furniture. And not just cloth furniture. I mean, this stuff feels really, really soft. It is so just nice. I just really like it. I don't know what else to say about it. But I'm curious your thoughts on like the cloth versus leather. My thought process on this, and you may have heard me talk about this before, is that I feel like with leather, one, it has a higher degree of temperature change, whether it's hot or cold. And then you also have, like, if you sit on it for a long time or lay on it for a long time, your skin kind of sticks to it. And you don't get that with cloth furniture. I also feel like this is a really nice color that is going to, withstand the dirtiness that comes with just being in an RV for an extended period of time. You can see that you got the same color here in the dining area as well. And then with your dining area, kind of interesting, you got this really uniquely shaped table to kind of try to maximize the space around there, and it is a pedestal style table. I actually really like this because one of the things with the U-shaped dining table here that I don't think a lot of people consider until they've actually had an RV that has a U-shaped dining table like this is there's not a ton of leg room typically, especially when you have a table with multiple legs in the floor. So this allows for a little bit more leg room, and I actually do feel like you, in this seating arrangement, could have like parents sitting on both sides of the table. So like a parent here, and you could stack like, 2-3 kids along that back wall and actually have the whole family sitting here at this table the way that this is arranged. So I do like that. You see how it's kind of like a half rounded table there. So pretty unique design with that. We have some storage down underneath here as well. Another thing with the Eagle line, you get the solid wood cabinet doors, so they're not a wrapped cabinet door. magnet latches to hold these doors closed as well. And then it does look like underneath here, yeah, there's storage under there as well. Really hard for me to get to a point to get to leverage to get that up, but nonetheless, there is storage underneath that back part of the booth area as well. And then you got your same storage under here. These are both recliners. They're going to have pull straps for those recliners. So just pull that right there, and that will allow this to recline out like so. And then both of these will have these little tables that go into the cup holder if you want to use those. You can see there's another one back there. And that's what we're looking at with your seating arrangement. But obviously the big standout is the amount of floor space that you get in here. Now you also get some pretty dang good quality in terms of other aspects of construction. So we have solid surface countertops here, not a wrapped countertop material. Very nice with that. You get one of these fancy schmancy sinks here that's going to come with all these different sink accessories that they don't currently have in here. Things like cutting boards and different bins for the sink. And you have a nice retractable faucet, very smooth on that mechanism. And cup rinser, soap dispenser, things like that. Really fun sink. Have a kind of stick-on tile backsplash, but it does have the, trim pieces on the sides to give that kind of a cleaner finish there and hold that all in place. Really like that we're seeing individual shut-off valves on all the water lines down underneath there. Glad to see that. This is a really spacious area under the sink, and like how there's no shelving here actually, so this is all just directly over the floor, so you can't actually load a good amount of weight down underneath there. Because the shelves are sometimes like you can load up a decent amount of weight here, but if you load up too much weight, that shelf can, drop out. So that's something to be mindful of. You always want to put your heavier items, closer to the floor or directly on the floor if you can, because when you put them on a shelf, sometimes you can overload the weight capacity on those, and there's no discussed weight capacity exactly. You just kind of gotta just have a feel for it. Open that up. Got a little bit larger than normal size oven, storage underneath there, 3-burner gas stove, and a residential microwave. And then it's a 2-tone cabinetry, so you have these white cabinets here with the same gold. It's kind of like a brushed gold hardware, and it's like a deeper gold. I think that would be, I don't know my carats in gold, but that's like more like a 24 karat looking gold than like an 18 karat, if I'm understanding that correctly. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. But it's just a deeper color. Looks nice though. Magnet latches on all these. Then you have your 32-inch screen TV. It does swivel around, so you can see how that moves around. They try to put it on a TV channel here, but it doesn't really work very well inside of this building. And then you have your sound controls here. So this is basically going to allow you to connect your Bluetooth on the speaker system to either like the TV or your phone or whatever devices you want. And it has the MB Court speakers here in the ceiling. And then last couple things in this area, pull down blackout shades on the windows. Plus you have wood framed windows that look really nice. Like how strong the system is in here. You have to pull on this just a little bit, which just tells me that it's a really strong device up there that is holding this in place, and then that will retract back up. Last little bit of storage in this area. You just have some cabinetry here with shelving in it. Kind of see the space you have to work with for your storage. Then as we come back this way, we have some little cubby storage back behind here. This is a massive window over that dining area. Refrigerator and freezer is going to be a GE profile 12-volt refrigerator and freezer. And then we get to the fun part. We have this bunk room back here. First of all, I want to show you with the door closed. You can block the kids off back here, although there's no way that the door fully closes, so you still will have some sound coming out of that room. You have cracks in the top of the door and then little slight seam there and then cracks in the bottom, so there'll still be some noise coming in from this area. Also have your other second speaker up over this space. But as we go back into this area, first of all, we have this flip down bunk right here. We have a sofa currently made into the bed. This is going to be like a shorter bed though, so a smaller kid could sleep on this. And then we have bunk here, nice layout. They also have the same layout in some travel trailers from Jayco also. So if you like this, but you want something that's even, a little bit more lightweight or just not the big profile of a fifth wheel, there are travel trailers in their, I believe it's in their J Feather line that have a similar layout to this as well. So right here, you can see the bunk capacities. I talk about the single bunks all have 300-pound capacities. Double bunks in the Jayco products will have a 600-pound capacity. So 300-pound capacity on this. Also, if you are a taller kid, you have the ability here for this to be, you know, pretty much suitable for any size, kid or adult, with this being a wall-to-wall bunk right there. You're not really going to face any limitations with that. And even this right here is a pretty long bunk as well. Let's go ahead and just see if, you know, I can hop up in here and get a feel for the space. Get behind the camera, roll up into this area. Okay. So, oh wow, yeah. This is right at about 6 feet long. So you can see my feet go all the way to the end. I'm not having to bend my legs at all. And my head is actually not touching the wall. So that is very nice. This is about a 6 foot tall, maybe even like 6'2", possibly, long bunk. And that means that this is gonna be even longer than that going around this direction. Then we have a couple other cool things too. So obviously you're like, well, how do you get to that top bunk? There is a ladder that drops down right here. So allows you to get in and out of that bottom bunk with that out of the way. And then you have a latch right here to hold that in place so that it is nice and safe and secure. Or you might just have kids that will end up just climbing over the sofa and climbing up there, whatever it may be, but you have the ladder there to get up and down when needed. Another thing that I like is when you lift this up, there is a latch there that just latches in place to push it back up. You don't have to do anything other than just push it up and it will latch into place on its own. So that makes that very easy and convenient. And then last thing, we have the sofa here. Let's go ahead and make this into, a bed that we make into the sofa. Get the armrest back there. Now you have your sofa to hang out on and some storage under here. 2 drawers that open up. They do have plywood construction on the drawers with staples to hold them in place. And outlets, USB ports here, outlets there, outlets here. This looks like a spot for a TV on the wall that you could do right there. And then we turn around this way and we have a great amount of storage too. So a bunch of shelving all through this space. Yeah, that's a ton of storage to work with right there. So if you have multiple kids in here, there's a lot of room for them to work with there in terms of storage. And then we have this cargo door right here. So you can see you have the ability to load things into this space, whether it's coolers. Shoot, you might even be able to put like a foldable e-bike in through that door into this space. That's gonna allow you on travel days to have that quick access door to put things in this space that you might wanna have quick access to. Especially think like things like a cooler, if you wanna have drinks in there and whatnot, that's gonna make that really easy to get anything in and out of this space quickly. Or maybe like if you're, you know, doing something like folding e-bikes or something like that, that would give you ability to get those in and out real quick. All kinds of different things. Curious if you guys have any other ideas for what you might use a door like this to store in this space to give you quick access to that would make your life more convenient. As we come back out this way, let's go ahead and come up to the bathroom. As we come up here, we do have a, manual button control panel here, but it does link to your phone as well. So everything that this does, your phone will also be able to do. And that's the BM Pro brand on that. We have, how many different air conditioners here? Let's see. I didn't talk about that yet, but we do have an AC system where the AC is up in the attic cavity there. So that's your AC return, and we don't actually see the air conditioner, so going to make it a very quiet system. It is ducted back here to the bunks, and then unlike a lot of other brands, you have the ability to close the vents in the ceiling if you want to, and then you can twist them around to face in any orientation. Also wanted to check, oh, you have outlets up here too. I didn't point that out around the corner of the bunk there. So single AC here, another AC in the bedroom. So 2 ACs in total. Go into the bathroom. Pretty standard bathroom setup here. Nothing too crazy. It does get a little condensed in terms of height up in this space. So you can see here, I actually am like ducking just a little bit when I come up here. I do it so intuitively because I'm just so used to being in these RVs, but I'm standing at about 6'2", maybe 6'3" right now with my boots on, and yeah, my head is, when I stand straight up, is pressed up against the ceiling. So that means going in and out of the bathroom, I definitely have to duck. So if you are 6 feet or taller, especially when you have your shoes on, you're gonna feel the need to duck in this space just a little bit. So definitely something worth noting. Got access to storage here, but this is the same storage that will go to the bedroom, and that's also where washer dryer will go if you decide to do that, so it would take up that storage space. Got some little cubbies down here. Porcelain foot flush toilet, spot for your toilet paper, and it does kind of look like it'd be in the way of the toilet, but you got to be mindful that when you're actually using the toilet, you're going to close that door, which will free up shoulder space there, give you about an extra 2 or 3 inches of additional room. Got your vent fan here. Hooks there for your towels. Always funny, I pointed this out on more and more videos now. The towels, if you hang them here, are going to definitely be in like what would be considered the splash zone for the toilet if you are somebody that pees standing up, like I think most human males do. But you either have to pee sitting down or hang your towels up like double time so that they're not hanging down low so that they get out of the splash zone. That's something that is true in my RV, and I've realized it now that it's in a bunch of RVs because it's something that I experience in my RV. So I step into the shower. They added a massive skylight here. This is basically the entire size of the whole shower. So really, really nice with that. That adds good ceiling height in here because you definitely need it since it's a little, shorter in this upper cap. But this gives you a height to probably about 6'5" in this shower comfortably. I would have to duck to get under the shower head though. Probably anybody over like 5'10" is gonna have to duck to get under this. But nonetheless, not too bad. You have the glass shower doors here. Has a little handle as well for a towel on the glass shower door. Have a nice wood grain finish like we saw in the living area in this countertop here as well. Now we have a plastic bowl sink, medicine cabinet, and we have liquefied. This is a black tank treatment for your RV that you can find at Blue Compass stores across the country in their parts departments, whether it's in this pod formula, liquid formula, or powder formula. Make sure that everything that goes into your toilet breaks down properly. It's going to liquefy it, as it says, so it drains out and then keeps your RV smelling fresh as well and keeps that black tank healthy. So you can find that at Blue Compass stores across the country. It's also on Amazon and at Walmart. Down underneath here, we got individual shutoff valves on the water lines again. Love to see that. Nice big open storage. No heat vents in the floor anywhere, so they're all run underneath cabinetry, and then some additional storage there. Tankless water heater. And as we go into the bedroom, have a queen bed. The windshield in here, really cool, nice touch. I really like the look of this windshield here because it's so huge and it's like a radius style windshield. So you have this like framed out area and the windshield actually sits like deep back behind that. So kind of cool, and you will have a pull down blackout shade that can latch down here to block that if you want to close it up. Kind of a nice design here. You got a little bit of room to walk around, but you got to do the little side step thing, and you have like this 2-tier drawer and kind of shelf system. So you can see you have a drawer there, then you have a little shelf here, and then another smaller drawer here. So kind of like that design. You have your outlets and USB ports. You can get this Overlander package, which would basically give you a little bit more solar and an inverter, allowing you to get power to the outlets from your battery system through that inverter. Got some storage here, little shelves there behind the bed. And then as we turn this way, got a spot for a TV on the wall. Can probably fit about a 32-inch screen TV there. Second AC here in the bedroom, and you have AC vents here, so gonna have no problem staying nice and cool in this bedroom for sure. Got a wardrobe slide in here. This is something we don't always see. This allows for this nice large bed in this space because this looks like this is a residential queen-size bed. Got your storage space in there. There is a light in here. Let's go ahead and turn that on so you can see in there a little bit better. Close that up. You got some drawers right here. Nice little tabletop space. It would be nice maybe if there was like a mirror in this area, but you could always stand a mirror up or something like that if you want to use that as a spot to get ready. And then same setup on this side of the bed. Last thing is your storage through here. Nice big storage. If you don't need the washer and dryer, you're just going to get a ton of storage space. Also worth noting, I'm sitting on the bed and this is a pretty decent mattress. It is not bad. So also like that. And then you have 2 drawers here for some additional storage there. So tons of storage space to work with. Looks like it's going to be capable for, it has a dryer vent location, which makes me think this is suitable for a stackable washer and dryer. But you should also be able to do a washer dryer combo unit if you wanted to do that as well. Also nice touch, you have some hooks here that you can hang things on in the bedroom. I do like that. A lot of other RV brands, I don't see that little, added touch. You have your storage underneath the bed, and it does go all the way to the front cap, and then we see a little bit of carpet down in some of these areas around the edges of this camper. So really nice size on that bed. I want to find the dimensions. Let's go see if we can find the floor plan layout and see what the dimensions of this bed are. Make sure it's a residential queen and see if it's anything different. But curious your thoughts on what you think on the inside. Definitely let me know down below in the comments. We want to hear your feedback, so share with us there. As I step back out, oh, they don't have the floor plan layout here. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, I kind of suspected this because that bed just seemed bigger, and I was right. That bed is actually 66 by 80, so it is bigger than a queen size bed. A queen bed is 60 by 80, so it's 6 inches wider than a residential queen. So really like that. I felt that difference. I was just like hesitant to say it because I wasn't for sure, but it definitely is bigger than a residential queen. Outside here, we have our pass-through storage. Couple neat things to talk about. We have astrofoil insulation here underneath the subfloor. That is huge. That's something that I don't see in any other fifth wheel RVs where they have that astrofoil underneath the subfloor. So just that added layer of insulation there. We also have a 3-stage water filtration and water softening system with this Nuvo H2O system. So that is a really neat touch too that almost no other campers have. Have outlets in this space. You also could like plug in a TV into this area if you want and set a TV out on a table. Very nice with that. On the door, this door does not have a friction hinge on it, so it does swing freely. So that's why they have the latch right here. I don't really love that it doesn't have the friction hinge. I feel like every door should have that friction hinge because if it's like super windy, although even with the friction hinge, it still could, you know, blow and hit the sidewall, but it does have that stopper right here to catch it if that ever, you know, if the wind ever did catch it. Have your outdoor speakers here and there, sitting at nice ear level when you're sitting down in a campsite. We also have a light here underneath the step with a switch to turn that on. It's just a little light so you can see underneath there. On your tires, this is a Rainier tire, and then we have a CRE 3000 suspension system. They have this added steel support beam underneath there. Really like to see that, so that gives it a more improved running gear. Then we have an outdoor shower right here. And an outdoor entertainment area with a larger outdoor refrigerator. All metal countertops through here. They have an HDMI port, so already kind of equipped for a TV setup there. And audio connection controls, outlet here, light switches, USB ports, and then they have this J port right here. This is something where I wish they had it like displayed so we could see what it looks like, but basically it's going to be this system that slides into that port that's going to have a griddle cooktop on here, and it will be the Halo griddle cooktop that I believe it's an option that it can come with, and that's going to be, that griddle cooktop is so nice. It's what I bought for my camper. Actually, I found it at Shields, and it is a 2-zone griddle cooktop, 22 inches, and just a really high quality griddle cooktop. So that is what will slide into that port, which gives you all this open space there that you can put a TV in and then have all that space to, you know, store things in, but also have that griddle cooktop as well that slides in and out of that spot. As we come back this way, ladder to get up on top of the roof, you have prep to add a backup camera, brake and reverse lights, fully enclosed underbelly down underneath there as well. So all your water tanks and water lines will sit above that enclosed underbelly. There's your access door going into this bunk space back through this area. And as we keep coming this way, see where our drain valves are at. It looks like everything is coming to this one area. Now what's cool about this is a secondary valve right there that opens up. So it's kind of like a safety valve, but your actual gray and black tank valves are up in the underbelly. So that makes this more of a true 4-season style camper, meaning that, you know, you're not gonna have to worry about water getting to these areas here and potentially freezing because water won't be able to get there as long as your valves are closed. You have a through frame rack and pinion style slide out, tankless water heater again, slam latch baggage doors on these. Oh dang, this one's locked. Well, that stinks. Your water connections are in here. They have the Nautilus water management system in there, but it's unfortunate that door is locked. And then 2 30-pound propane bottles, storage space down underneath here. Have a light there so you can see your setup if you're setting up in darker conditions. Schwintek slide on your small bedroom slide there. That is a pretty small slide on that. And then you have the the Lippert Rhino box here up front. So pretty standard pin box with that. Really nice looking front cap. You can see the lighting in it, and that windshield is just really nicely concealed. It almost doesn't even look like a windshield. It's pretty impressive how dark the tint is on that. And that's about everything. Let me find a price for y'all real quick, or at least an estimate, and then we'll get you on your way. This is something that I think is gonna be right around like the $60,000 to maybe $65,000 mark for what it will be listed to sell at, based on other Eagle products that are pretty close in size to what this is. Maybe a little bit more, it's safe to say the $60,000 to $70,000 range. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Curious your thoughts and what you think. Let me know down below in the comments, and that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.